Immediately after watching The Fast and Furious, that would be the original, I watched Too Fast, Too Furious. I actually saw this one in theaters. And coming out in 2003, I think this was just after I graduated high school, at the time this was released, or in the waning days of that year. And, this one tries for a lot of humor. It's directed by John Singleton, has some pretty shoddy camera work. The clothes people wear in this actually date it more. At a point in 2003, baggier clothes were kind of in, and people look a little unkempt in those ways. But Paul Walker returns. He's Brian, he's off the force. He's got a Skyline, he's racing in Miami. Gets caught by the police. Police say, hey, basically we need your help going after this guy who's running drug money. And it's kind of weird because it's like, well, what's really going on here? Because the guy just has some money stored up in a house. There's a bunch of little kids over here. I gotta run. So these guys actually go after the way he plans to move this money is by hiring these drivers to, I don't know, I guess break down this wall in this little shack and tear off with the money to a plane or a boat. But he has these tryouts he's going to have to hold for his drivers. None of this stuff's really necessary. The plot's bullshit. It's not that hard to move cash. But Paul Walker says, hey, I'm going to need a guy. I've got one guy in mind. At this point, you're thinking, surely that means Vin Diesel, Dom, right? No. Roman Pierce. Guy we haven't seen before. Played by Tyrese Gibson. Oh, but Tyrese was in Baby Boy. Previous movie directed by John Singleton. So let's just bring in that movie star, and there we go. Keeping it familiar, right? Well, a lot of this looks stilted. I said the camera work's sloppy, the effects are sloppy, lines are weird. Suki, played by this chick that looks bizarre, she was in Sin City, has a body that reminds me of when I was 8. I guess Tej is alright. That's ludicrous. I guess he's okay. But, really, there's nothing really much to brag about here. I do see some saving grace, though. As much as Tyrese pulls it up, and is jokey around, as much as Cole Hauser is trying to channel Colombian drug lord and failing, I do like his rat torture technique. I think this is actually ripped off in Game of Thrones, and I think it's pretty cool. He puts this bucket on a guy, what's his name, Mark Boone Jr., and he has a rat under the bucket. He's like, hey, I'm heating this up with a blowtorch. Rat's gonna burrow itself out. If you don't tell me the truth, it's gonna go right through your gut. Okay, I'll talk. I'll do you a favor, It's pretty intimidating shit. But the tone's all over the place because Tyrese is playing up everything for a laugh. We hungry. He does get some laughs. I remember laughing in theaters a couple times. But you know what? With Vin Diesel, there was a bit of a more gravitas to the film. It seemed more serious. That first movie saw some angst. Well, here you don't have any of that emotion. There's none of that. It's just light through and through. So this is the lightest, jokiest of all of them. And it may have a bit of a saving grace in how it evokes the car culture. They all come together to decoy Brian and Roman. At the end, they're moving this drug money, and they go into this garage, and then all of these muscle cars and Dodge Rams come out, and tuner cars, and they switched it up. They don't pull off a heist, but this shows, the beginning of the elaborate heist for this movie series. And really, it's a getaway technique, and I find it commendable for that. Really, it may be slightly worse than the original, but I can't really say enough to warrant any different in the stars. I give Too Fast, Too Furious 2 out of 4 stars.